Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 33 of my modded Factorio playthrough. Enjoy. Now that we have access to these basic electronic boards, we now can access some higher level technologies here. And let me just clear out the inventory a little bit. There we go. Specifically, woohoo! Fast inserters, finally! Those are very useful. Our toolbar here doesn't have enough space. So I guess I'll get rid of the lights for now. Move these over. Then plop. Although, we're not really going to be using burner inserters for much of anything anymore, so maybe we can just move these things around a little bit. Like right there, right there, right there, then put these back to where they were before. Seems good. So, now that we have blue inserters, was there anything we can fix in the factory with blue inserters? I don't want to replace everything, because really, anywhere where you have two red inserters should be replaced by blue inserters, but man, that's going to be a lot of blue inserters. And we can't reverse factory these reds back into anything useful. And you can see the blues don't use reds, they use yellows. So reds are kind of a dead end. So, you know, with our 915 long-handed inserters, we can't easily replace these yet. But we can replace situations where we didn't have enough red inserters. And I believe, not too long ago, it was right here, where we needed 5 electronics components per second, but we didn't have the space for them, for the enough red inserters. Blue inserters move exactly twice as fast as red inserters, so they go at 2.3 units per second. So if we do the math here, 2.3 times 1.5 means one corner blue inserter does 3.45 items per second, and add another 2.3 for a second one, and that's 5.75. So one corner and one straight blue will get the job done here. Right there, and see, pick up, drop, and there we go. That's fixed. Let's do a quick once-over on the factory to see if there's anything else. Well, right here, I believe, because this machine needed to have 4 per second, but we couldn't on this individual machine without having weird corner bits. But now we can. Simply 2 of these would do the job. And I think I picked up some tablets along the way. Get rid of those. Let's see, what else? What else? I'm trying to recall. is there any limiting factors? Well, there technically was on these blast furnaces here. The whole reason why we have 2 blast furnaces is because we are inserter limited, but this setup works for now. It's not critical that it gets replaced, so I'm not going to bother. They're already placed, so why not leave them there? Until we need more blasting furnaces, there's really no reason why we can't just leave the existing ones sitting there. I think these were inserter limited. Yeah, you can tell that the problem with this is we have 1 inserter feeding this machine, but 2 inserters feeding this machine, so that was causing a slight efficiency loss. So if we replace these outside ones with blues, and wait for it. Yeah, this crafting times are going to take forever now because we're not making motors automatically. There we go. See if the inserter stops moving at some point. Yep, it's good. Fantastic. How are we doing on power? Pretty good. I'm going to leave these set up for now, just in case we still want to use those. But, uh-oh. We're down to our last 400 pieces of sapphirite. So we have to be extra careful about the iron we use. I might be forgetting something, but that seems good enough for now. And the next step is researching Prospector up here. Or nope. Where is it? It's a picture of a radar, isn't it? Let's search. Nope, it's not. So we need to access these Prospector radars so we could scan for more ore and get the iron flowing again. But to do that, we're going to need green science. And the green science required these 2 units, Atmos instrumentation, Atmos reaction nodes. But specifically, the instrumentation requires 3 resources. There are 3 products, and we couldn't do that without the tier 2 assembling machines, which we now have access to because we can make electronics boards. Let's pick that up. Fill up our inventory. I guess we can save some resources by picking up the old science lab. Just gonna cut the power off of some stuff. Yep. Seems like it's a lot of largely unnecessary power lines at this point. Let's see. And connect this over there. And how about right there? There we go. So we don't need any of these anymore. Alright, let's figure out the ratios for some science. Let's do the green science first. And since we have access to these tier 2 assembly machines, there's really no reason to use tier 1s anymore. So a green science pack requires 1 instrumentation and 1 reaction node. Instrumentation, reaction node. Let's do the node on this side. So we're going to need 1 unit every 6 seconds. And this machine provides, looks like 1 unit every 1.5 seconds. So one of these will support 4 science machines. Oh, look at that crafting time. Okay. And this machine can produce the instrumentation. You can see it makes 1 every 1.5. So one of those machines will also support 4 green science. So this guy requires iron plates and electromagnet coils. 2 coils every 1.5 seconds. Which is 1.33 coils per second. And this one provides 8 coils every 5 seconds. That's 1.6 coils per second, so it's not a perfect ratio, but it's plenty fast to support that machine, so that's good enough. Let's see, the chain for this is kind of long, so let me just place them all down. I think that's the correct number. This is going to require circuit boards and microcircuits. And this one makes the microcircuits, which require copper and micro wafers. This one takes lead plate and wafer stamps. And then this one wafer stamp is iron and tin. And I believe it's a 1-to-1 ratio for everything. See, that one needs 10 microcircuits every 1.5 seconds. And that makes 10 microcircuits every 1.5 seconds. And in that 1.5, it needs a micro wafer. And this makes 2 micro wafers in 3 seconds. So that's 1 every 1.5, so that's fine. And this one needs 4 wafer stamps every 3 seconds. And this one makes 4 wafer stamps every 3 seconds, so that's fine. Now, we want to make something that is easily expandable upwards, and this is kind of an awkward shape for that. So there's actually a much better way of doing it. So let me show you my idea. First, let's move these machines out of the way. And place them down properly. So this is going to be the input on that side. And the input on that side. And then over here, oops, we need to make the reaction nodes. And then we can make the coils here. So this requires iron plates and coils, and this takes just copper. So we can do that with one convenient belt right here. I don't think we really need 2 belts for that. And then on this side, let's see, let's space it 1. There we go. So we're going to need instrumentation right there. The instrumentation needs microcircuits. And then this needs a micro wafer. And that is the wafer stamp. So let's get the output on this. It's going to be 1 every 1.5, which is plenty within the range of a yellow inserter. So we can do yellow inserter here. And that's actually all we need on that. And we're going to need 1 iron plate, and if yellow inserter worked on that side, it'll work on this side. And we need twice as much for coils. We need to do 2 coils every 1.5 seconds, but it works at 7.5 speed. So when we do that, we need 1 per second, which a red will work for. I don't intend on using reds since they're kind of a dead-end technology, but since I have them in the inventory and there's so many in the factory, I don't have problems just placing them down where they fit properly. And then this guy is 4 plates every 5 seconds times 0.75, so a yellow inserter will work for those as well. So this needs to be copper and iron. And since we have copper right here, I don't think there'll be a problem just pulling off of it. Yeah, we can do it right there. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it right here. Alright, and then this needs to be the iron. Gonna put all of these undergrounds in here. Alright, there we go. It will eventually make its way up here. Let's make sure these machines are correct, that we have enough inserters. Sure seems like that one's holding a lot of resources, but yeah, it seems to be working properly. So I'll throw my extras in there. No complaints. Yep, and that needs 1 every 6 seconds, so yellow is going to be perfectly fine for this. For both sides, really. Now the tricky part. Because we want to make this easily expandable upwards. Let's make this the output. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Let's see, this one requires 1 tin plate and 1 circuit board every 1.5 seconds. Let's assume those are on the same belt. So 2 units every 1.5 seconds, but it works at a speed of 75. So 1 unit per second, which means a red will be fine. Let's see, let's just do it like this. So its resources are going to come in on that belt right there. The tin and the circuit boards. And it's going to need 10 microcircuits every 1.5 seconds. But it works at a speed of 0.75. So it needs 5 microcircuits per second, which means we need 3 fast inserters. So I have to place them right here and probably do some sideways business with this. And then on this one, it's going to need 1 copper plate, which a yellow will be fine. Man, look how long that crafting's taking. But I really don't want to be using any extra iron because we are running really low. So I don't want any of this stuck in machines or boxes or belts or any of that. And let's make this a long-handed inserter. So it can take its resources off a belt coming up here. And this one can take lead. So this one will have copper and then lead on it. And it needs 4 leads every 3 seconds at a speed of 0.75. So 1, which means it has to be a red. That's going to be outputting 2 micro wafers every 3 seconds, and I believe a yellow will be fine for that. And the input is going to need to be the same as this guy, so 1 red will be fine. And then this one needs 2 iron and 2 tin, but they're going to be on the same belt, so that's 4 items per second every 3 seconds, which is 1.33, but it's at 75% speed, which is 1. So we need a red inserter, and we're going to space it even further right here, which means it can reach from all the way out there. So we're going to be able to do this. So the reason for this is that we can just expand this setup higher. It would be a little odd, but we can just copy this whole thing and then place it up here and just double this, and then the whole thing would be doubled. And we wouldn't have to do any crazy belt business because all of our resources are on belts going straight up, even though each one of these belts is going to have like 2 different resources on it. So the tricky part is actually getting all of the resources up here cleanly. So let's work on the belt on the outside first. That needs to be tin and iron. So let's pick up some bricks and expand our template out. Let's move the bricks down here. To expand the template so we see how much space we have. Seems close enough, I guess. And no. It's going to bother me if I don't do it perfectly. Okay, close enough. Alright, so this is tin and lead? Yes, or tin and iron. Let's do like this. Let's have the iron come in right here. And the lead on this other side. Let's see if this works. I like to place some lights down, but let's check to see if this turns on first. Seems pretty good. There we go. It's pretty bright. So this next belt is going to be lead and copper. So let's see. Let's do lead on this side. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices in how tightly you can pack things just based on... Well, no, it can't be there. Just based on the positioning of all of this splitting and stuff you're doing. So lead... right here. So we're going to need to get it all the way down here. See if making it nice and clean will work here. It may not. Then copper up here. Is that going to work? Looks like it has to be 1 space further. Well, maybe not. Because that has to be there. This is kind of like a puzzle, figuring out exactly how to get this stuff in here. But is that going to reach? Yes. Just barely. Yep, that'll work. So we can move this one down here and out of belts. So now we have to manually make belts. Let's make sure this works properly. It's going. Okay, so this one is going to be circuits and tin. Might be easier to take tin from the left side. Trying to figure out how to do this. Probably like this, because we need to have that space there to be able to put the underground belt. So, like this. Right, that seems good. And then we're going to need the tier 1 circuits through here, which means we're going to have to run them all the way down here. And we're out of belts. Running low on iron. Pick up some more. Take a look at the patch, which is inevitably empty now. Not quite. 8. 8. That's pretty much empty. Looks like there's at least a little bit of backup on these machines still, so that's good news. So like there. There we go. Let's combine these belts. And then run it in. Now we should be producing green science. Let's see if this is balanced. Oh, don't have the output inserter though. That would help. Looks like it just needs to be 1 yellow. It needs to be a long mark right there. Now let's test it. Every machine should be green. Yeah. Looks good to me. We're making green science. That's all the time we have for today, so I will see you at the next episode.